evening and welcome to News Tonight on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tina Jha. Let's begin with the headlines. Rajya Sabha passes bill to bifurcate Jammu and Kashmir and resolution to abrogate Article 370 that grants special status to the state. Upper House also passes Jammu and Kashmir Reservation's Second Amendment Bill 2019, allowing 10% quota for economically weaker sections in the state. Legislation to bifurcate Jammu and Kashmir into Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and the Union Territory of Ladakh passed with 2/3 majority of members present in Rajya Sabha. Bill supported by BSP, BJD, TDP, YSRCP, AIADMK and Aam Aadmi Party gets 125 votes in favour. Congress and TMC oppose with 61 votes. JDU stages walkout. Article 370 fueled terrorism and increased poverty in Jammu and Kashmir, says Home Minister Amit Shah. Assures Rajya Sabha that its removal will end bloodshed and bring about development in the state. Home Minister also introduces Jammu and Kashmir Reorganisation Bill in Lok Sabha. Celebrations across the country over the scrapping of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir. Section 144 enforced as a precautionary measure in many parts of the state, including in Srinagar and Jammu. Union Home Ministry issues a security advisory to all states. And Lok Sabha passes the Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Bill 2019. Legislation provides a mechanism for social, economic and educational empowerment of transgenders. Lok Sabha also approves the Surrogacy Regulation Bill 2019 to make commercial surrogacy illegal. The top story this evening, Rajya Sabha has approved the resolution abrogating Article 370 for Jammu and Kashmir and a bill to bifurcate the state into two union territories, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. The resolution to abrogate Article 370 was passed by a voice vote. Bifurcation of Jammu and Kashmir was passed by the Upper House with 125 votes in favour and 61 against it. Replying to the debate on the resolution and the bill, which were taken up together in the House, Home Minister Amit Shah termed Article 370 as the biggest hurdle to normalcy in Jammu and Kashmir, adding that terrorism cannot be eliminated from the state until Article 370 and 35A are in existence. He said the controversial provisions were responsible for poverty and lack of development in the state, asserting that the current BJP-led NDA government is committed to making Jammu and Kashmir the most developed state in the country.
तीन 370 के कारण जम्मू कश्मीर में कभी भी लोकतंत्र परकोलेट नहीं हुआ। 370 और 35 के कारण भ्रष्टाचार बड़ा फला फूला बड़ा पनपा और चरम सीमा पर पहुंचा। 370 और 35 के कारण ही गरीबी घर कर पूरे देश के अंदर विकास दिखाई पड़ता है। घाटी के गांवों को देखते हैं तब हृदय के अंदर संवेदना आती है, आंख में आंसू आते हैं कि आजादी के 70 साल के बाद ये क्यों गुर्बत में जी रहा है, क्यों गरीबी में जी रहा है। मान्यवर, वहां के आरोग्य को भी इतनी सुविधाएं नहीं मिली, आरोग्य की भी, उसका कारण भी 370 है। विकास नहीं हुआ, जम्मू कश्मीर के विकास में बाधक भी 370 है। शिक्षा लेने के लिए जम्मू कश्मीर के बच्चों को देश भर के शिक्षा संस्थानों में जाना पड़ता है, इसका भी कारण 370 है। ये 370 मान्यवर महिला विरोधी भी है, दलित विरोधी भी है, आदिवासी विरोधी भी है और आतंकवाद की जड़ भी 370। मैं देख रहा हूं अभी सामने, मगर मैं सब चीजों का डिटेल जवाब देना चाहता हूं माननीय। सबसे पहले मैं लोकतंत्र की बात करूंगा। इस देश के अंदर संविधान का 73वां और 74वां संशोधन आया, मगर चूंकि 370 थी, वो जम्मू कश्मीर में अप्लाई नहीं हुआ।
Earlier in the day, Home Minister Amit Shah brought 2 resolutions and introduced 2 bills in Rajya Sabha, announcing the government's proposal to revoke Article 370 and Article 35A of the Indian Constitution, which provided special status to Jammu and Kashmir.
मैं संकल्प प्रस्तुत करता हूं कि ये सदन अनुच्छेद 370(3) के अंतर्गत भारत के राष्ट्रपति द्वारा जारी की जाने वाली निम्नलिखित अधिसूचनाओं की सिफारिश करता है। संविधान के अनुच्छेद 370(3) के अंतर्गत भारत के संविधान के अनुच्छेद 370 के खंड 1 के साथ पठित अनुच्छेद 370 के खंड 3 द्वारा प्रदत्त शक्तियों का प्रयोग करते हुए राष्ट्रपति संसद की सिफारिश पर यह घोषणा करते हैं कि यह दिनांक जिस दिन भारत के राष्ट्रपति द्वारा इस घोषणा पर हस्ताक्षर किए जाएंगे और इसे सरकारी गैजेट में प्रकाशित किया जाएगा, उस दिन से अनुच्छेद 370 के सभी खंड लागू नहीं होंगे, सिवाय खंड 1 के नामक तदनुसार पढ़ा जाएगा। संविधान के समय समय पर संशोधित बिना किसी संशोधन और उत्पाद के जम्मू और कश्मीर राज्य पर लागू होंगे। इस बात के सिवा अनुच्छेद 152 अथवा अनुच्छेद 301 में निहित किसी अपवाद अथवा इस संविधान के किसी अन्य अनुच्छेद अथवा जम्मू और कश्मीर संविधान के किसी अन्य उपबंध अथवा कोई कानूनी दस्तावेज, निर्णय, अध्यादेश, उपनियम, नियम, विनिमय, अधिसूचना, रीति रिवाज अथवा भारत के भूभाग में कानून के प्रवर्तन अथवा कोई अन्य लिखित संधि अथवा समझौते जैसे अनुच्छेद 363 के अंतर्गत परिकल्पित हो, अन्यथा न हो।
The Home Minister also introduced 2 bills, the Jammu and Kashmir Reservation Second Amendment Bill 2019 and the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Bill 2019. The Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Bill 2019 proposes to make Jammu and Kashmir a union territory with legislature, while Ladakh will be a union territory without legislature. The Jammu and Kashmir Reservation Second Amendment Bill 2019 proposes reservation for economically weaker sections in the state. The Home Minister said the reservation bill will help provide EWS category 10% reservation in educational institutions and government jobs. This reservation will be besides the existing reservation for SCs, STs and OBCs. Both bills have been approved by Rajya Sabha. The government's move to abrogate Article 370 triggered uproar in the upper house, with members of the Congress Party, TMC and the Samajwadi Party protesting against it. However, several other parties like the BSP, the BJD, the YSRCP, the Aam Aadmi Party as well as the TDP supported the centre's move to make Article 370 ineffective.
Members cutting across party lines put forth their viewpoints on the government's move to abrogate Article 370. The opposition parties like Congress, TMC and RJD opposed the bill. The JDU also decided to oppose the bill.
शर्म की बात है कि जम्मू कश्मीर को आपने नॉन एंटिटी बना दिया, एक लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर बना के, ताकि आप चपरासी भी यहीं से बना ले, ताकि आपकी क्लर्क की अपॉइंटमेंट भी यहीं से करे। जम्मू कश्मीर जो दुनिया में माना जाता था, इतिहास की वजह से, खूबसूरती की वजह से, कल्चर की वजह से, पर्यटन की वजह से, टूरिज्म की वजह से, और आपको उसको एक यूनियन टेरिटरी बनाकर, जम्मू के मेरे भाई, इनसे मैं कहूंगा, यूटी में हो आप, ये सोचो, अब जम्मू कश्मीर में नहीं हो, आप एक इतिहास भारत का बदल रहे हो, ये आपको मालूम होना चाहिए। पावर के नशे में इतना मत गुम हो जाओ कि आपको पता ही नहीं चले कि आप क्या कर रहे हैं। आपने एक स्टेट को उसका इतिहास मिटा दिया है, मसल दिया।
आपसी समझौते से हल हो जाए, मैं इसके पक्ष में हूं, मेरा दल इस पक्ष में है। 70 वर्षों में क्या खोया क्या पाया। न रोजगारों को रोजगार मिला, न विकास हुआ, न एससी ओबीसी को आरक्षण मिला। राष्ट्रवाद के नाम पर हम सब एक हैं। इन शब्दों के साथ हमारा दल बहिष्कार करता है।
धन्यवाद।
Now that this 373 is withdrawn, the 35 years is gone, anyone can go there, and it's a paradise on earth, and all the multinational companies would come there. Again, sir, it would become not ours, sir. So that is the people's feeling there. So what we say is, if at all you take a decision which you could justify, you should have taken it only with the consent of the state legislature after it has come into existence.
आज हमने मुआफी के साथ कहता हूं, कश्मीर के पैलेस्टीन बनने का रास्ता खोल दिया है सर। मुझे दुख के साथ कहना पड़ रहा है, 5 साल बाद आप मुझे मानोगे, आप नैरेटिव चला रहे हो, चलाओ, लेकिन कोई भी नैरेटिव इस मुल्क में अमृत पी के नहीं आया। हमने पुराने नैरेटिव खत्म होते देखे हैं। मैं सिर्फ हाथ जोड़ के विनती करता हूं, अहंकार त्यागिए, कश्मीरियों को गले लगाइए, तब कश्मीर अपने आप गले लग जाएगा।
The life of the Kashmiri people, the future of Jammu Kashmiri people, the future of Ladakh people is in danger. The constitution is danger. We fully oppose this bill. We will stand with the Jammu Kashmir people. That's our party line.
First, they came for the Dalits. And I said, I'm not a Dalit. So I didn't stand up. Then they came for the oppressed. And I said, oh, I'm not an oppressed. So I didn't stand up. Today, they came for the Kashmiris. And I said, oh, I'm not a Kashmiri, so I won't stand up. No, sir. We will stand up, because then when they come for me, there will be no one to stand up.
Meanwhile, other parties hailed the government's decision.
कश्मीर को लेकर के जो 2 विधान के विषय थे, उन विषयों को समाप्त किया गया और इसलिए 370 का जो टेम्परेरी प्रोविजन था वो उस तत्कालिक समय में था। ये एक ऐतिहासिक विषय था जिसको पूरा करने का काम आज प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र भाई मोदी ने किया है, जिसके लिए उनको बधाई देनी चाहिए।
So now the central government rightly brings these 2 resolutions and also the 2 enactments. So we, the ADMK government, Amma's government and ADMK party support the 2 resolutions and support the reorganization bill and also the reservation bill.
I support this resolution. My party, the Biju Janata, support this resolution. We are a regional party, but for us, nation is first. The integrity, safety and security of India is first.
जिसने विरोध किया है वो वही लोग हैं जिसने 70 साल तक जम्मू कश्मीर की जनता का शोषण किया। हमेशा उनको सिखाया कि हिंदुस्तान हमारा दुश्मन है। नहीं, जब भी हम कश्मीरी पंडित हो, हमारे वहां के मुस्लिम भाई हो, सब चाहते थे कि ये धारा हटे।
इस देश के जितने भी माइनॉरिटीज के लोग होंगे, दलित होंगे, बैकवर्ड होंगे, जो देश के और कोनों में रहते हैं, जो ज्यादा संख्या में हैं, खास तौर से माइनॉरिटी मुस्लिम्स, उनका अब एक राइट मिल जाएगा कि वो जम्मू कश्मीर में जा करके वहां पर प्रॉपर्टी बना सकते हैं, वहां के बाशिंदे कहलाएंगे।
Hats off to the Home Minister, Honorable Home Minister and the Prime Minister for their vision, and this will completely solve the problem of Kashmir. Sir, the courageous and bold and daring step of the Honorable Home Minister will be remembered in the Indian parliamentary history forever, sir.
At present, the status of Jammu and Kashmir becomes that of a union territory. I think, sir, it would be in the fitting nature of things if an assurance can be given that this is only transitional, and in due course, Jammu and Kashmir will become a full-fledged state and join other parts of the Union of India in the equal status.
अलगाववाद और आतंकवाद से जूझने के लिए हिंदुस्तान का लगता रहता था
अब वो शांति कायम करने पे लगे और जम्मू कश्मीर के विकास पे लगे और देश के कोने कोने से वहां पर लोग जाकर अपना व्यापार कर सकें और जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों का और विकास हो सके।
President Ramnath Kovind had exercised his power under Clause 1 of Article 370. The presidential order has also done away with sections under Article 35A, which provides special privileges to permanent residents of the state while defining the term permanent residence. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
After getting the Rajya Sabha nod, Home Minister Amit Shah moved a resolution in the Lok Sabha for bringing a bill to reorganize the state of Jammu and Kashmir into two union territories, that of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Moving the resolution following the President's order abrogating Article 370, the Home Minister sought the permission of the House to bring the bill. He assured the opposition members that he would move the bill and the resolution for consideration of the House on Tuesday and was only seeking the permission of the House for the same now. And in news just coming in, former Chief Ministers of Jammu and Kashmir, Omar Abdullah and Mehbooba Mufti, who were under house arrest since Sunday night, have been arrested. Jammu and Kashmir People's Conference leaders Sajjad Lone and Imran Ansari have also been arrested. Earlier in the day, terming the government's move on Article 370 unilateral and shocking, former Chief Minister and National Conference leader Omar Abdullah called the decision a total betrayal of trust of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. He added that his party will challenge the decision and is prepared for a long and tough battle ahead. PDP leader and former Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti in a tweet called the day as the darkest day in Indian democracy. Calling the decision illegal and unconstitutional, Mufti said that India has failed Kashmir in keeping its promises. PDP MPs in the Rajya Sabha also protested in the House. Both Abdullah and Mehbooba Mufti were put under house arrest late Sunday night. Restrictions and night curfews were also imposed in several districts of Jammu and Kashmir, with authorities stepping up security deployment. The government imposed restrictions under Section 144 in Srinagar with effect from Sunday midnight as a precautionary measure. All educational institutions in Jammu, Srinagar, Kishtwar, Risai, Doda and Udhampur districts also remained closed. The BJP's Jammu and Kashmir State Unit Chief Ravindra Rana has welcomed the government's decision to remove Article 370.
जम्मू कश्मीर और लद्दाख की जनता के साथ बहुत बड़ा इंसाफ किया है। ये जो निर्णय आया है ये जनता के हित में है। धारा 370 ने आतंकवाद और अलगाववाद को जन्म दिया और आतंकवाद और अलगाववाद की भेंट जम्मू कश्मीर के 1 लाख से ऊपर बेगुनाह लोगों की जानें गई। 1 लाख से ऊपर जम्मू कश्मीर के बेगुनाह लोगों की जानें पाकिस्तान प्रायोजित आतंकवादियों ने ली और जम्मू कश्मीर में आतंकवाद और अलगाववाद ये धारा 370 के कारण पनपा। 370 ने जम्मू कश्मीर के अंदर आतंकवाद और अलगाववाद की आग लगाई।
Following the unprecedented decision on Jammu and Kashmir, the centre has asked states and union territories to keep security forces on maximum alert. In an advisory issued on Monday, the Home Ministry asked the state governments to ensure special care is taken of Kashmiris residing in their states. The Indian Army has also been put on high alert along the line of control. And India has briefed envoys of the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council about its decision to scrap Article 370 and bifurcate the state into 2 union territories. According to news reports, envoys of a number of other countries were also briefed by senior officials of the Ministry of External Affairs on the decisions regarding Jammu and Kashmir. In the light of interest expressed by members of the diplomatic community, senior MEA officials briefed the envoys of several countries, including that of P5 countries. So Jammu and Kashmir will no longer enjoy its special status, and all provisions of the Indian Constitution will be applicable to the state from now on. The government has proposed Jammu and Kashmir as a union territory with legislature and Ladakh as a separate union territory without a legislature. Let's now try and understand what changes the move will bring about for Jammu and Kashmir and its people.
5th August 2019. A significant date for India as well as Jammu and Kashmir. A day on which President Ramnath Kovind promulgated the Constitution Application to Jammu and Kashmir Order 2019. That states that provisions of the Indian Constitution will be applicable to Jammu and Kashmir. The order, which came into force immediately, supersedes the Constitution Application to Jammu and Kashmir Order 1954. For this purpose, a clause 4 has been added to Article 367, introducing 4 changes. In effect, it states that any further reference to the Constitution of Jammu and Kashmir will be construed as reference to the Indian Constitution. References to the Sadr-e Riyasat of Jammu and Kashmir will be construed as references to the Governor of Jammu and Kashmir. References to the Jammu and Kashmir government will mean the Governor of Jammu and Kashmir acting on the advice of his Council of Ministers. The expression Constituent Assembly of the State shall read Legislative Assembly of the State. The abrogation of Article 370 that granted Jammu and Kashmir a special autonomous status will now mean that constitutional provisions applicable to other Indian states will also apply to Jammu and Kashmir. Under Article 370, the central government needed the state government's concurrence to apply laws, except in defence, foreign affairs, finance and communications. It provided for a separate set of laws for the people of Jammu and Kashmir, including those related to citizenship, ownership of property and fundamental rights as compared to other Indians. As a result of this provision, Indian citizens from other states were not allowed to purchase land or property in Jammu and Kashmir. Further, the centre had no power to declare financial emergency under Article 360, except in cases of war or external aggression. Besides, Jammu and Kashmir was the only state in India to have its own constitution and its own flag. The revocation of Article 370 means citizens across India will have just one citizenship prevalent in all states of the country. People from anywhere in India will be able to buy property and permanently settle in Jammu and Kashmir. The fundamental rights of the people of Jammu and Kashmir will be the same as enjoyed by citizens of other states in the country. The state will be governed by laws applicable to the rest of the country. In addition to making Article 370 ineffective, the Union government has also moved a bill proposing bifurcation of the state of Jammu and Kashmir into 2 union territories, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Jammu and Kashmir will be a union territory with a legislature like Delhi and Puducherry, while Ladakh will have no legislature like Chandigarh. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
In another setback for the Congress party, its Rajya Sabha MP and Chief Whip Bhuvaneshwar Kalita resigned from the membership of the House on Monday, opposing the party's stand on the abrogation of Article 370 and also bifurcation of the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu announced in the House that he has accepted Kalita's resignation. Samajwadi Party member from Uttar Pradesh, Sanjay Seth, also resigned from the upper house, and the chairman accepted his resignation as well. The resignations from Rajya Sabha came just ahead of the crucial vote on a resolution scrapping Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir and a bill to bifurcate the state into 2 union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. In some other news, Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu made a statement on the 92nd anniversary of Sansad Bhavan. He appealed to the government to modernize the House.
माननीय सदस्यगण, भारतीय गणराज्य का सबसे बड़ा मंदिर है यह संसद भवन अपने 92 स्वर्णिमा वर्ष पूरा कर चुका है। विश्व के सबसे बड़ा लोकतंत्र के इस मंदिर के भवन से सभी राजनीतिक निर्णय लिया जाते हैं। स्वतंत्रता के बाद से अब तक लोकतंत्र के बढ़ते स्वरूप ने देश की इस सबसे पवित्र और महान धरोहर का उत्तरदायित्व भी बढ़ाया है और इससे देश की अपेक्षाओं का विस्तार भी किया है। ऐसे में यह हम सबकी आकांक्षा है कि विश्व के सबसे बड़े गणतंत्र और सबसे विशाल लोकतंत्र का संसद भवन सबसे भव्य और सबसे आकर्षक बने। और इसके लिए मैं देश के प्रधानमंत्री जी से, सरकार से, हम सबके ओर से आग्रह करना चाहता हूं कि भारत की आज़ादी के 75 वर्ष की 2022 तक पूरा होने पर नव भारत के उनके संकल्पों में संसद भवन का विस्तार और आधुनिकीकरण को भी सम्मिलित किया जाए।
And a quick look now at the bills passed in the Lok Sabha on Monday. The Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Bill 2019 was passed by a voice vote. The bill provides a mechanism for social, economic and educational empowerment of transgenders. A contentious provision that criminalized begging by transgender people has been removed from the bill. Replying on the bill, Minister of State for Social Justice, Ratan Lal Kataria said, it makes a provision for establishing a national authority for safeguarding the rights of the transgenders.
जो ट्रांसजेंडर्स के ऊपर ऑफेंसेस होते हैं उनके लिए जो है एक पेनल्टी का प्रावधान करना और उनके हितों की रक्षा के लिए एक नेशनल काउंसिल जो है वो उनके हितों की रक्षा के लिए बनाना, इस प्रकार के जो प्रावधान है आने वाले इस बिल के अंदर जो है हमने रखे हैं।
The Surrogacy Regulation Bill 2019 to ban commercial surrogacy in the country was also passed in the Lok Sabha by a voice vote. The bill provides for constitution of surrogacy boards at national and state levels, as well as that the intending couple should not abandon such a child under any condition.
एक लिस्ट है जिसको मैं पढ़ नहीं सकता, लेकिन इसमें मेरे पास इतनी बड़ी लिस्ट है एक्सप्लॉयटेशन के केसेस, इसके अलावा जो कंप्लेंट्स हैं सरोगेसी क्लिनिक्स की, कोर्ट के केसेस, ये सारे हमने अध्ययन करने के बाद इसके अंदर से जो फैक्टर्स निकले उन फैक्टर्स को कैसे अटेंड कर सकते हैं। और जैसा शुरू में ही मैंने कहा कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट की भी इच्छा है और इसी तरह से लॉ कमीशन की भी इच्छा है, भारत सरकार की भी इच्छा है, कैबिनेट की भी इच्छा है, आपकी सबकी भी इच्छा है और देश की भी इच्छा है, समाज की भी इच्छा है, इसलिए ये बिल लाया गया है।
The Supreme Court on Monday directed that the Unnao rape survivor who suffered critical injuries in a car-truck collision last week be airlifted from Lucknow to New Delhi for better treatment at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. The woman, allegedly raped by BJP MLA Kuldeep Singh Sengar in 2017 when she was a minor, is battling for life after a truck rammed into the car she was travelling in with some family members and her lawyer. 2 of her aunts died in the accident last Sunday. Meanwhile, a Delhi court has ordered that the prime accused of the Unnao case, expelled BJP MLA Kuldeep Singh Sengar, be shifted to Tihar jail from the Sitapur prison in Uttar Pradesh. And that's it from us in this bulletin. Thank you for your time.